Let me ask you about some of the divas I didn't ask you about the first time you were on. I'll
Okay.
mention some names. You can tell me a story, tell me a word, whatever you want.
Mhm.
Mickie James.
Oh, legend, needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Overall, just amazing person, worker. I wrestled her on the Indies. I saw her in OVW. She was kind of in the different class going up. I mean, not surprised of her success at all. Talented, great person, works hard, work ethic, just gives back to other talent on her own time. Like, incredible, incredible person. Funny, super funny and goofy, and laughs at herself, and great to be around.
Do you know I've never met her?
What?
Never met her.
Well,
Like we're
you're
on the
living
in.
under a rock, because she is out and about, and getting it done, getting the business done. What a hardworking
well,
woman.
well, if she's not at my house before 9 p.m., like we talked about before we click play, she's not going to see me because I don't do much.
She needs to come looking for you.
And it's funny because she was on the Indies. Was she Alexis Luray?
Alexis Lurie, yeah.
Yeah, I remember her. I remember the name. Just never on the same shows. Never.
Oh my gosh.
Kelly
Yeah, she's
Kelly.
great. Oh, cool. Kelly's, she was so young and so bright, vibrant. She didn't care about anything. Nothing bothered her at all, ever. And just easygoing, and has the genetics of a freak, man. I just hated that girl for the fact that she like could eat anything and look model perfect, and everything about her was just beautiful and great, and she's funny, and she just like, oh my god, Kelly's just, I mean, she's just a sweet, sweet person. And some people are like, oh, do you know Kelly's number? And I'll reach out to her and I'll say, hey, this person wants to book you. So she still responds to me, so I know she's got her own life and doing great, and looks great as usual. So yeah, I met her and Alicia Fox when they first came in. Not surprised of her success either. Beautiful girl. Nothing, I mean, I've never seen anything bother her whatsoever. People mess with her a little bit, and then, just off, like, not a care in the world. Like, I wish I had that.
Right.
So super fun.
So what
So
you're
fun.
saying is you can hook me up with Kelly Kelly. That's what you're saying, right?
Married with kids, back
No,
home.
I didn't mean hook up. Hook up. I'm married with kids too. I meant get her on my podcast. No,
Oh,
change the subject. That went totally different direction.
yes, it sure did. I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
All right. Come on, am I ever inappropriate like that? Come on.
I got you. I'll see what I could do.
All right. Candice Michelle.
I didn't see her a lot. Only when we had the mixed shows, because sometimes they would bring us all together on Raw or SmackDown. She was great. She kind of was always doing her own thing, because she was kind of the girl, or one of the girls at the time on the Raw show. So always kind and nice, and said hello to me. But she always had she had like other agenda things going on that we just didn't. It wasn't like we were hanging out in the locker room together. So
Right.
very nice to me. Very nice
Yeah.
to me.
Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bell, well, the Bellas in general. I worked with them. We would go down to like FCW, because it was FCW at the time, and I met
Mhm.
them there. So nice, so gracious, and they came up after I left. So I didn't have a lot of like interaction other than going down to FCW and working. So very sweet. And then I would go back occasionally, like with Natty, to just go backstage and see people. And they just would come up to me and hug me and kiss me, and very, very sweet, very nice, and remembered me. And sometimes I get in my own head and I'm like, are people gonna remember me? I don't look the same, right? I don't look the same. Curly, not curly hair. Very sweet, both of them, her and Brie. And then I saw them at Natty's wedding. Well, I saw Brie at Natty's wedding because Nikki wasn't there, but um Brie sat and chat with me, and so they're both wonderful, wonderful girls. They were so sweet.
How about the success they've had, huh?
God,
Oof.
well, entrepreneurs galore. Good for
Yeah.
them. Take advantage of that. So yeah, they've done really well. And they should. They're hardworking girls. So good for them. Happy
Uh,
families.
Lilian Garcia.
Good. She actually showed me which converter to get for overseas because she'd been overseas so often. I was just like, oh, I blew out so many hair dryers. Like, girl, you gotta get this. But again, she was on Raw, so I would see her in passing. But yeah, I remember that in the hotel because I was just like, and then they're like, oh, tell the runner to go get you like a hair dryer, like an overseas like for a hair dryer. And I'm like, I can do that. Like, I just didn't know
Nice.
I had access to some of the stuff. So I did, because of her, I had the runner go and get me this like compact thing that had like a blow dryer in it that was like overseas conversion, like already, and had a curling
Right.
iron and a flat iron and stuff. So she kind of told me things like I didn't know, like I could, and I was like, I'll pay. They're like, no, 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 they don't, you don't have to pay them to buy it. They'll buy it for you. And I was like, okay. So yeah, so Lillian helped me with that.
Is Natty still there?
Yeah. Yeah, Natty just
Yeah.
resigned. Yep.
How
She
many
just
years has she
resigned.
been there?
She's just on like a little, they're just kind of working. I don't want to give away.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, but she just resigned June, end of June, end of June.
Oh.
So yeah, she just resigned. She continues to work at the dungeon. Have you seen that her and what TJ have? The ring?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they had this little warehouse close to their house, and it's a select invitational few people that come, and they just kind of do dungeon style workouts, which look really cool. And they have like it's from the people I talk to say it's pretty intense. So, there's all levels of training that you need. I mean, if you and I, cut our teeth on the indies and kind of learn from the beginning. And if you don't get that training or you start fresh, you have the PC. If you get hired and then you start from the ground up and kind of learn the ins and outs of that. If wherever you're seasoned, and they can kind of give you a different perspective, which is great. So
Right.
they have a lot of people that kind of come through and just hone their craft and, continue to learn more or learn a different aspect or just get the conditioning because you can do all the cardio, you can do all the weightlifting, but there's no conditioning
Sure.
you do when you're in a wrestling ring. So,
Right.
and it's a legitimate size WWE wrestling ring. So as you know, on the indies, there's different sizes and you get in there and it's a lot smaller. It's a lot, so it's awkward. So it's getting them positioned to be conditioned for that kind of stuff. And they put you through different things and they come up with whatever drills that they're doing. So they do that every Wednesday for sure, because that's like a down day for both her and TJ. And then some other days, depending on their schedule, they'll kind of put together separate classes on the fly to say, hey, we're going to be here for this and that. So, it's good for whether you're a seasoned main roster person to someone on the indies, to someone in another organization, or someone just wanting to get started. I know Brody Lee Jr. is there. She tells me he's doing really, really well. So, learning the craft, and Natty's nephew is kind of getting the eye for wrestling, so she'll bring her nephew over there. But a lot of talent has gone through just to kind of learn and condition, and so they do that very consistency, which is amazing because like when I was on the main roster, like you're home maybe 2 days a week or a day and a
Right.
half, and they fit that in. That's their life, it's their blood, it's like what keeps their blood pumping. And then to be able to give back to people, it's the knowledge that they have from family history and their own personal
Right.
experiences. It's like, I've always said you can ask TJ, like, hey, Scott Hall had this match in Georgia in 1983, and he can tell you who he wrestled, how long it went, who went over, what was the thing that it's just impressive to like listen to. And or sometimes we'll be watching something at their house, and I'll give a perspective on the match we're watching, and then he'll just pipe in, and I'm like, huh, I didn't think of it that way. Like his vision is just remarkable to listen to. So um they'll get their return on those two, over and over again. I don't think that, you know, they're just priceless. The things that they can offer from every avenue. I mean, I always say it, Natty,
Right.
invests in herself in every avenue. They can call on her for anything, call a match on the fly, train a new girl. Something happens in a match, they can rely on her to take the reins. She can do PR stuff. She's, got an insane social media following. She can, which is great. That's so smart. And TJ the same. Like, he's just like such an amazing producer that they can rely on, and the girls all want him to be their producer. So yeah, they're a gold mine.
Yeah.
Individually and collectively.
Anything you want to plug?
Well, my Instagram, DDC Chick, is out there. I have Twitter, or X, or whatever they're calling. So that's former Diva Cherry. So FMR Diva Cherry. And I'm actually working on some new exciting business skills and events coming up. So keep an eye on my Instagram, because I'm going to post it on my stories. I'm kind of working on something really exciting I want to share soon. So keep an eye on that. But other than that, those are the social medias I have. I don't have Facebook, at least now. So, but yeah, I'd love to hear anybody who wants to reach out. I've got photos, I've got some other stuff coming up. So yeah.